Okay, we're recording and go. Today I'm going to teach you a very wonderful lecture on how to use the best of the best Microsoft PowerPoint. Only pro elite gamers use this epic software. Let's get started. The reason why I'm going over this is the concept of programmer art. I know you people, you just make your little red and green squares and think that's a hitbox and that's a character moving around. Well, no more do we have those days. We can make good art even if we have no idea what we're doing. Now, just to get started, I want to make sure that you all credit the god of all Microsoft PowerPoint, Tom Wildenhain. He is the best person ever. He's like second to like Jesus Christ himself. He has made PowerPoint into a Turing machine. Go check out all of his videos. I say that right now. Let's get started. Okay. So what are we using PowerPoint to make in a video game? Most times you are using it to make the things that you don't want to make pretty. Your UI, the logos, the objects, the last things you start thinking about. We're not using this as your art software. It's more like Adobe Illustrator for kids edition. So what you need to know right now is you got this thing called slide size. Look at it. Look at this. Slide size. Let's go custom slide size, and you can change it to whatever width you want. It doesn't matter if it's inches. Let's say 256 pixels by 256 pixels. Okay. Let's maximize it. What this is doing is now when I export any slide, it will every time be in exactly. Ooh, that does not look good. It will be exactly in that resolution, so you can guarantee the size of your objects in the game. Let's undo that all. Okay, good. Next thing is save as picture is not the same thing as going to the save as button and saving it as a PNG. Why? Because PowerPoint's an idiot, and I have no idea why they do this. This is something they should fix. PowerPoint, if you're watching right now, fix this. What you need to do is when you save as picture, it will upscale the resolution, likely because the DPI is actually not 96 for some reason. But when you do say save as picture, it will also save all the alpha channel too. When you go and save as picture by exporting as a picture, basically, the dimensions will be correct, but you'll have an alpha channel background. And you'll have, a solid colored background. And you need to remove that manually. So you can do that by doing something like going to GIMP and you go to, I think it's something like filters or something like colors. And you go like remove alpha channel. Basically, you're doing a green screen on it to remove everything that's not green. Now, what else do you need to know? The quick access toolbar is your favorite friend of all time. See, I have it right here. You can move where it goes. You can make it go up top. You can make it go right here. It's nicer here. Why is this great? Because now my favorite commands are right here, which are union, rotate, change shape, grid. They're very useful. Next thing, speaking of grid, setting up the grid is very easy. Just go to grid, and you can snap to the grid, which will help immensely. And you can also space things out exactly on a per pixel basis. So you can like say 32 pixels. These are like 32 pixel increments, but I'm gonna stop on that. Next thing that you need to know, union or intersection. This was introduced in a newer PowerPoint edition and is probably the most important tool out of anything you know from this if you don't know how to use it already. See, this is a square, this is a circle. Take the two, combine them together, merge shapes, union. Now it's a squircle. It's the best thing ever. I'll name it Bob. I'll give it... No, this isn't complete without giving Bob Littleface. let's outline. Okay, now this is Squircle. This is Bob. He has eyes now. He wants you to use the Union Sauce intersection tool. Every professional software actually has this, like Adobe Illustrator, Inkscape. It's all the same process. Once you do that, though, what you can do with your newfound Bob is you can take Bob and add it to my shape, so you can always have that same shape every time you need to use it. So that's under storyboarding. You go to add to my shapes. Now I can name it Bob. And there, Bob is always with me forever again. Also, Bob looks a little boring here, so let's change it up. Let's change the color. Let's change it to white. Just change the outline to black. And what's great is I can set as default shape. You better be using set as default shape. If you don't know what that does, that will make sure in the PowerPoint every shape that you now create will have the same stylized settings to it. So now when I make a rectangle, it will always be black and white instead of that weird blue color. Hopefully you all know that. I'm just going over these just in case. Next thing, let's say this is something that I expect everyone to know out of all the presentations you've had to do with your classwork. The weight function on anything and the pattern function on anything. So this is a standard box, but we always want to go to shape format, shape outline, change the weights of it. Now it looks like a really bold box. Shape fill, texture, no. We always go to the more option. I don't really care about those things. Like now we can access every single possible fill color we want. The patterns are nice. This is my favorite pattern. Or we can use, the pictures. Patterns are also nice. Some of them come in loaded like that, but I always recommend getting your own pattern by making a picture. But you can do whatever you want with that, and then this kind of looks weird, but if we make it subtle with the pattern, like that's a blue and that's a light blue, then let's say, let's make this line color also like a darker blue. This is starting to look more like a UI box. See, you could just put any text you want on there. Send Fulkin. Wrong font. Falcon. White. You get the point. More or less, this looks a lot better than just using any type of box. Now let's go, that brings us to stylization. You can use those, you can use textures. Really all this is made out of is just pasting this twice on top of each other to make that little shadow. And unioning this with that. When you do that, union them together. Yeah, I meant not union, but combine. Fragment. One of them. I think you have to have, this is a picture, it should be geometry. But if you have the geometry, you can just easily do that. Take a circle. Union them together. Gotta do it in the right order. You gotta union this and that. You get the point here. You could make it any shape you want with that texture. It's awesome. Always keep a large library of textures on hand. Where I get all my textures from is they're actually things that I just loaded from Paint Tool SCI. I have a bunch of default textures in Paint Tool SCI. I can just, let me just get that up in my folder of Paint Tool SCI. They're just paper textures. Where is it? And these are all things I just have on hand to use at any PowerPoint presentation. If you want to find them, they're easy to find. Let's say paint, tool, sci, paper, textures. Come on, Google. Don't die on me now. And you have all these links to just get free textures, and they look pretty cool. Alright, now, next thing is... Oh. Come on, PowerPoint. Okay. Next thing is the almighties of PowerPoint. The almighty blessings of PowerPoint. They give you a lot of stuff with this program. Remember when I went to storyboarding? Well, that's not all they had there. Let's get to importing shapes. Actually, that's not it. I don't know how to get back there. Let me just make a new shape. Storyboarding. That's my shapes. See, in these storyboard files, if you scroll down, there's icons. All the icons you possibly want for any app, any application, any mobile game. Look at this. You got your power button icon, your save icon, play button icon. You don't know how many times I'm looking these up on Google just to find something exactly like this, and sometimes it doesn't work. These are all SVGs, so you can export them as SVG from PowerPoint directly and use it however you want. Oh, there it is. Okay, I might be wrong on them being SVGs. But you can use these however you need to, and they will be very useful in your project. That's how I made, these were all icons just in the middle of it. Now, free 3D models. So this is again stealing this from this guy's PowerPoint here. But if you go and file, well, first let's put 3D model in here. Insert 3D models. Okay, so let's wait. These are really good assets right here. Like, they're all built into Microsoft PowerPoint for some reason, and I have no idea why. But it has really cool things. Say, sometimes we need a present, okay? Ooh, no, a trophy. That would be great. Ooh, this is not the right slide. Oh well. So, this is a nice trophy we got here. Let's save this PowerPoint file. Save it as something in documents. Now let's go to documents. Let's copy it. Let's paste it again. But let's paste it again, but rename. Let's change it. What is the best way to do this? I usually do this. Actually, I think I can change it directly from Explorer. Help me.zip. Yeah, let's just edit from there. Resave it. File. Save as. All file types only.zip. Should be. There it is. Now it's a zip file. Let's open that zip file. And let's go to props. Go to Okay, I might have not done this right. Okay, I did not do this right, but you should be able to go into the props and retrieve the 3D model object file directly from it. And just you can take that and import it into your game. It's amazing. Alright, so we're 3D models. Now, the text. I love how the text works in Microsoft PowerPoint. Normally, you can just write anything you want. Let's make it pretty big so you can see it. And let's make it sit there. You can play around with it. I can't really do anything to it, and sometimes I really need to change it to make it look nice, especially for making a logo. How would I do that? Well, let's make a tiny little box. That's all it takes. Shape fill, shape outline. Let's just blend it in to the words itself. Now take that, merge them together. What did that do? Well, whoop. Supposed to merge it together the other way. Now what did that do? I can go to edit shape, edit points. Now I can change all the points on this geometry. This really is not practical to edit every single point, and you probably shouldn't be doing this in PowerPoint anyway, but if you really wanted to make a little nice logo, it's like this, I don't know, this is pretty creepy, you could do that. Other things I say is outlines. Outlines are amazing to edit, and you should always be editing them. Unfortunately, Microsoft PowerPoint only lets you edit gradients of the outlines and not actually load in an image file into it. Alright, so next thing. Okay, gradients. You remember those really cheesy looking gradients that you saw and you knew that your PowerPoint was dated all the way back to 2003? Well, those aren't that cheesy anymore, especially because you go to Godot or anything that needs gradient files with it. And those gradient files can load up anything from like the intro animation that will say you want to blacken out the screen a certain direction. A gradient will do that for you. It just matters how the gradient looks. Or more importantly, reflective lighting. You can use it as a light mask to shine and look exactly like this just from this box. Microsoft PowerPoint will do that for you. Next thing, saving your presentation. So your PowerPoint files are powerful. They can make videos, except making a video in Microsoft PowerPoint is 10 times harder than actually making a normal video just through the animation system, in my experience. But you can make a video that could look nice if you're really good with PowerPoint. Save it as an MP4 and just load it into your project. More importantly, instead of just a video, you can make a GIF file, which is just a sequence of images. So you can take that sequence of images and then export it as a Sprite sheet. So let me go to my other PowerPoint presentation. How are we doing? Oop, yep. Alright. Go to my other PowerPoint presentation. I already made this setup. It's a guy. He's holding a gun, and you play the animation. Yeah, it's he's shooting, I think. His arm is kind of coming off. But what's important here is let's save it as, go to Documents. Save it as, it allows us GIF. Save it as GIF. Gun shooty.gif. Save. And now we go to convert GIF to Sprite sheet. I do all my conversions. I just tell Google to tell someone else to do it for me. And somehow somebody made a GIF to Sprite sheet converter, and I personally believe they made it exactly for this very one occasion, so I could make PowerPoint assets into Sprite sheets. Gun shooty opened. Now we can upload the GIF or GIF if you're one of those people. And let's convert it to a grid. Convert to Sprite sheet. Wait for the dancing cat. Now all we have to do is, like some engines already do this for you, is we just have to remove the green, which we can do again in GIMP by removing the alpha layer. And we successfully have a working Sprite sheet made in Microsoft PowerPoint. Alright, back to it. Image filters. They can do absolutely anything. So PowerPoint is the main place that I go to for image filters, just because I can do that easily. Let's take UMBC. Good image of UMBC. Why Google? Why? Alright. Images. Let's say, yeah, this is, imagine you're in your UMBC visual novel. You want this in the background. So this is pretty nice. This is a nice looking background. But when you have a guy like, I don't know, just to copy this entire guy. When you have this as your main character of your visual novel, he doesn't really fit into the background. So let's change the background just a bit. We can tweak it just enough so maybe it would work better. I know they love using this one. This is nice. This is kind of weird. I like this one. But what I can also do is, if I don't like it enough, I can copy it. Then I can do another artistic effect. Oop. Let me copy it, and then I can paste as another picture, trick it, and then I can do another artistic effect on it. I know PowerPoint doesn't want me to, but I can do that. Ooh, that pencil shading. And now it looks like I'm playing the entire game on this rough course painting. Let's send it to the back. And you know what? Let's also make this guy a picture. Alright, let's group them together first. Now we can go to the picture. Let's put some glow on him. Where was the glow button? I forgot. Let's go to glow options. Maybe color white. See, now you have, let's call this guy Fred, Chan, and he's talking to we could rename this guy. You can also change it between the color in here, but I don't recommend it in PowerPoint compared to any other software. Like, I load my things into Psi, and then use the hue shift to change the color. The hue shift on this isn't that good. But now, this looks somewhat more than just pasting it on a picture. This kind of looks good enough to pass in a game. All we need is good enough backgrounds. We're not going for perfection here. We're programmers. Now, what else are we doing? Color choice, the last thing, is when you make stuff, I always recommend putting in black and white. The reason why is because I also then go, say in Godot, there's this function called modulate, and it will just apply a color all to the entire image. So if you want custom colored, there's a good example of this. The Yonko Battle chips I had. Imagine the Yonko Battle chips. It was this white and black color. And then if I wanted to customize anytime what color it was, I would just change the color in the game. It will now it's green, and then I could change the color in the game again. It would be blue, so on and so on. I believe you can automatically convert to grayscale using Microsoft PowerPoint too, if you didn't make it in grayscale already. Last thing. So these are examples of how I've used PowerPoint. So I've not used it for anything big. A lot of times it's been in prototype stuff that I just throw away, but it sticks around usually in the UI. You saw this earlier. A lot of these were made by Bren. These were all Yonko Battle assets that made into the final game. This was from Star Martin, these two. These are really simple shapes, but PowerPoint was the easiest way to make them. These are in Tree, part of the shop. To see that those textured backgrounds are just directly from Microsoft PowerPoint. The entire Yonko Battle logo is made there. That pattern function is again the Microsoft PowerPoint pattern function. And I just took two different fonts and put them together. And that's all and just put like a little pill shape in the background, and that's all I literally needed to make that logo. Now, because this is a quick and dirty assets tutorial, I'm not going to stick to PowerPoint because I know you guys want to see more assets. Let's go to sound effects. How to make easy sound effects. So I have no idea how to actually make a proper sound effect. Instead, I just took some sample and play around with it. So what is a sound effect? Or sample. Oh. Let's start from the beginning.
Sumimasen!
Oh, okay. So we're gonna take that and make a nice, I don't know. Let's make something out of it. I like this part where this person's talking. What can that be? What can that be? Maybe I can take this. You know, I see some potential in this. I see some potential. So let's copy this. Let's delete everything. There, we got our track right here. This is Audacity. If you don't have it, by the way, it's very easy to get. So what can we do to make this sound totally not like a person just said this? One of my favorite things here is called, I think it's a pause stretch. It will just stretch it out and repeat it. It makes this weird sound. Let's keep doing it. It's fun. Let's do it 5 times. Okay, that's good enough. Let's see what we can do if we change the pitch of it. Pitch. Change pitch. Let's change it up a pitch. Okay, wait. Oh my gosh, that hurt. Let's not do that. Undo. Can we do a sliding? Ooh, yeah, sliding stretch. That will do that. Let's kind of shooting star sound. Let's see what we can do when we change the pitch to, let's change it lower. 1 octave lower. No, let's change it 3 steps lower. Okay, might be too low. Change pitch. Just change it 1 step down. Okay, that sounds pretty cool. That's like kind of like a falling effect. Now, what if we add reverb in there? Just disguise it. Okay, that made it a little too quiet. What else is there? You can invert the sound. I don't know what that does, honestly. And, let's speed it up. I want this. Ooh, echoes are pretty cool. Just want to see what it does. Alright, now let's speed this thing up. Speed this baby up. Also, one important thing I'll go over is this thing called, where is it? Normalize. Normalize. This is very essential when making any sound effects. It'll basically make your highest sound the maximum sound it can go. Why? You want all your sound effects to be almost a maximum sound, so that when they play on there, it's not some really quiet sound effect or way too loud. You want them all to be at around the same level. Normalize will help you do that. Always do that when you're making sound effects, or even voice recordings, anything. Don't worry, amplifying it doesn't like destroy the quality of it either. So don't ever be afraid to amplify or normalize. Let's see. I'll change the speed. There it is. I don't know how fast that's going to make it. Now, let's take that and let's copy it, paste it. Just, by the way, this is entirely unscripted. I have no idea what I'm doing with this. Let's speed this one up. Speed this one up and see what happens. Okay, I think it's good. Let's see. Let's move this. Come on, come on. Why don't we move? Okay, now how do I play? That sounds pretty cool. What else can we do to this thing? We could reverse it. Ooh, that sounds like sounding like a sci-fi type of sound here. Now, what can we do again? Let's do this trunk. Oh no, sliding stretch. So we can make this go all the way down, I believe. No, we want it to go down further. Come on, all the way down, all the way. Effect, sliding stretch. That sounds pretty cool. Can we make it faster? Okay, that's a little too fast. Okay, it's going somewhere. Now we can like do a sliding stretch on half of it, I believe. Keep going up. That gives that the little ending clip sound that goes like, you know, it stopped talking. I think that'll be good. Like, let's call this our friendly robot sound, that every time we talk to this robot, it makes a sound. Or whenever you hit it, that's what it does. That came from Sumimasen. I have no idea what I just did, but okay. Oh wait, another bonus tutorial, how to make 3D models. This is part 3 of 3 in our how to make quick and dirty model assets series. What are we going to do? We're going to go to the best 3D modeling program ever. I know, Blender is very hard for some of you, so I'm going to scale it back and go to the ultimate program, Roblox Studio. Yes, you can make models in Roblox. Here's how. Just gotta open this up. Alright, okay, it opened up. So today I'm going to teach you how to make models. Wow, okay. This is going to be a very simple one. I'm just going to remove this base plate. We are going to, let's make a block. Let's get a cube. Do we have cubes? Does it take that long to find a cube? Why are there so many cubes? What is this difference between this cube and this cube? Oh, let's just put this cube down. There we go. Okay. We have a cube. Now what can we do with it? Let's stretch it out. Wow. Let's make a table. Just very simple table. Just copy this cube, paste it. Wow, we're almost done here. Now all we gotta do is select this table. Just like what we did in PowerPoint, let's do a union. Now it's all one model. Now we got this one file. What else can we do with it? I believe there's a way to save this. I'm gonna double check to find out. Okay, so we go to here, click on it. Now we're gonna go to File. Export as OBJ. What? Yes. Now we just YOLO. Now that we've exported as OBJ, we can go to just Documents. Come on, Documents. We got our OBJ file. We can just open up. Just open up in 3D Viewer. Okay, it seems like my computer is not able to load that while I'm streaming right now, so I'll do it later, but you've seen it all. That concludes my tutorial. Thank you, YouTube, for watching. That is it, and goodbye.